Welcome back. We are in a yellow submarine. Do you really want submarines to be yellow? I mean, that's really high profile. Maybe I'm just kind of like cynical when I think of submarines usually being used for military things, but I don't think we want them to be standing out like a beacon like that. I could be wrong. Where are we supposed to go? I have no idea. I'm hoping it's this way, but this game has us sometimes go weird directions. Your barrels can't protect you, I'm hitting you in the face, come on. But at least I did have an arrow pointing to the right. I can only wonder what this green stuff is. Ah! It's a good thing they can't see as far as I can. Although, oh my god. For instance, I can see through walls! Although some of my enemies can too. I can shoot off the screen too for whatever reason. Man, I didn't realize how many massive rings this thing was capable of firing now. I still enjoy that though. Anyways. I should look into some of the oddities in this game a little bit more, perhaps. I'm curious about, actually that glitch where I ended up falling out of the world got me thinking a little bit more about similar glitches I've seen in other games, and the variation you find in how games handle you falling out of bounds. In some games it's actually not that big of a deal, this one included in fact, because especially in 2D platformers you usually already have something to handle the character falling. Look, the guy's just walking around, he's not hurting anyone. I blow him away. A game like this one, you already have stuff built in to handle the... It's coming for me. He's so weak too. He's totally unarmored. Oh, that would be cool if I could then hit each other. But a game like this one, well, falling off the bottom of the screen is nothing new, because that's what bottomless pits are. So you just, in this particular game, you just take damage and respawn somewhere else. In some games, hey, what are you doing? Stop being invincible! Hey! I guess they're gone. It's one way or another. Oops, I was actually trying to hit you. I accidentally activated Goddard. Get him, Goddard! I had to put everyone above me instead of below, so I couldn't hit him like I did before. But yeah, in this game you just teleport back to a safe place and take some damage. In lots of other similar games you just die. It's usually in well, some 2D games don't have any expectation of you falling out of bounds, but that's kind of rare. 3D games are usually where it's more interesting. When you fall out of bounds, that's where odd stuff happens. Some 3D games do still handle you falling out of bounds in a sensible way. But what sometimes also happens is you have cool situations like, stop liking the game, guys. Oh, really? It doesn't explode. Wait, hold on. Can I hit you? Yes, thank you. You're lagging the game. Some games, some 3D games will already have built-in ways of handling you falling out of bounds, because that's normal gameplay. I'm very glad. There you go. Took me a second to remember how to do that. No bouncing. Some games will, on the other hand, say Mario Galaxy, for example, they'll place kill planes and whatnot all over the game, like places where if you fall through this area you just die. But they don't place them everywhere. So if you get somewhere you're not supposed to be, there might not be a kill plane there, you can still fall into infinity. Or you can be in a level that just doesn't normally expect you to be able to fall through the floor. For instance, Jet Set Radio Future, I found this weird thing. Well, there's this weird thing with Jet Set Radio Future where there are places in the game where it's normal to fall into the void, and you just respawn somewhere else. But what happens when you do that in levels that don't have places you're supposed to fall out of the world, because the thing is, they have manually placed respawn points. So what happens if you fall in a level where you wouldn't normally fall out of the world? Well, they have actually indeed placed respawn points in strange places. So you see that they added respawn points in case you somehow bugged out the game and fall out of the world. It's interesting that you start to see like safeguards that the developers came up with. And the weirdest thing, the reason I come up with, I'm mentioning Jet Set Radio Future in particular, is I found a weird thing. If you fall out of the world in multiplayer in that game, instead of falling out of the world like you normally would, or doing the same normal animation you would, you instantly... They apparently build this into the game with that, hoping that it would never happen. But if you go out of bounds in multiplayer specifically, you don't, like, fall and respawn like you normally would. You just instantly teleport. No sound, no animation, no nothing. You instantly teleport back to where you start in the level. It's actually kind of uncanny, because it's like you're one place one moment and then you're another second. Anyways, welcome back to the docks. I got kind of ahead of myself there, I guess. Preoccupied with things. I don't know if people have particular opinions about me. Stop that. I have opinions about you and they're bad. Go away. I don't know if people have particular opinions about me talking about other goings-on while playing these games. It has been happening a bit more lately for some reason. Specifically with these licensed games, though, where I tend to say, hey, this game reminds me of that thing. I guess since licensed games do tend to become generic in a lot of ways, they tend to just be generic games skinned as some kind of existing IP. They do tend to have lots of things that would remind you of other existing stuff. Sometimes to a comical degree, as we saw in... Yeah, but I want the grenade. Sometimes to a comical degree, like it was in, what was it? The first Fairly Odd Parents game I played, I think it was Breaking the Rules, I think, on console. Well, that sounds fun. Having a little remote control sub to do stuff with. It sounds a little bit more interesting than Pachinko. Now that Pachinko's not made to be fun, I guess it is a game. Although I like that little rhythm game now that I think about it. To win the game! This is also a game, apparently. How long is this gonna be? Do I really need... Just, oh, okay, you press left and right to rotate. Ah! Sometimes I forget that I have more buttons on this controller than a Game Boy does. My square button, for some reason, is mapped to left. I'm using a PlayStation 3 controller. There's no square button on the Game Boy though, or any equivalent. See, that was just a nice, efficient path that I took there. No, don't need speed. What are you doing? Please stop. Also, I don't think we're going where we need to be. This feels very much the opposite of the place we need to go to. Right, are we gonna... Is the control panel not that red thing I saw off the right? Also, this seems really inefficient. They're gonna have to, now, make that wiring go so far. Okay, I don't like this. I can't see anything off the bottom of the screen. Ah, I tried to get smart and learned from the patterns that there would be something to heal myself with there. They're kind of generous with all these ranges, admittedly. Although those mines do hurt quite a lot. Ah! They broke the pattern. I don't know if I need to go up or down or not. These mines keep going. They're encroaching on my space bit by bit. They're making a beeline for the... Whoa. For that control panel now. Ah, I wasn't sure if I had to go up or not. You give me a three-way intersection. Oh, well, I guess I didn't need either of those. Skillfully dodging. Ow, these things. It's like trying to get through Mario without collecting any coins. See, these parts like this, like really thin stuff, I can get through that just fine. Ow. But you need to be psychic for some of these parts, I swear. Never mind those. This is a little obnoxious how long this is, my god. It's like, when you had to shoot away all those pirates in the console version. It's mean too, they start to like establish patterns that they'll hold to for a little bit, and then ooh, break them suddenly. Oh jeez. I'm trying to take advantage of those patterns, but guys, where's the control panel? Where are we going? There are children, I assure you, that never completed this game because they can never get through this part. Like the amount to which I can turn and the amount of time I have to react to this do not line up very well. What? And these things have such small collisions. The mines, on the other hand, are quite large. I guess I'm turning 90 degrees now. I can't turn enough. This is insane. Don't speed me up in places like this, guys. No. Yes, my god. Oh, that was ridiculous. I guess the control panel is indeed close to what what it controls, but like, who wants to? Doesn't seem very practical, regardless. Having to go all the way through there. Are you sure that wasn't just like a maintenance hatch you could have gone through, Jimmy? What true horrors lay below? That was horror. I feel horrified already, Jimmy. Let's go on Earth Cthulhu or something. Oh, okay. Just ran uncontrollably to the left. Or Cindy, same thing. Did I don't know if I voiced this thought while playing the game or not. I don't think I did. I find it interesting that in this game we're actually swimming around in the water, whereas that was what killed me in the boss fight and in this boss fight in the console version. Very funny. Oh, you're one of those bosses. You're like Wendy Koopa. I don't like that one. I haven't played Mario World in a long time. Although saying that, Mario World's a weird game for me that I've played. That I've, oh, I wish I could shoot at angles. All those weird games that I've actually played a lot of. I played it through a good chunk of Kaizo, which was originally for this channel. That's another thing I don't know if I mentioned in this series or not. I think I mentioned at some point getting through most of Kaizo on this series for some reason. I don't know why that would have come up. But there we go, that's what, ow. That should punch more. Haha! Thanks, shots. Oh, come on. I got quite far in it. It's the second last level I can never get past, but the last level never seemed that bad to me, oddly. But anyways, I never actually played through the whole game myself, which is kind of strange. I hit her somehow. Maybe I should someday. It's one of those things that would actually be a good candidate for this channel, so I could actually finally have the experience of getting through it, because there are some games on this channel that I do that with, that I want to have the experience someday of finally actually finishing, because I never did before, or something like that. But I generally also try to play things that haven't been played to death by everyone else. Ah, come on. And that game would be exactly that. This isn't going to end well for me, though. I don't think. I should probably just do something like this. I should have done this the whole time. I like being a little bit less cheap. Whatever. Also, awesome. Also, conveniently like you, I don't need to breathe underwater. Also, we can talk underwater. Someone commented on Jimmy's shoes being a different color in this than in the show. I don't know what these games are doing with regards to like film designs versus show designs. There's like Cindy sometimes is one thing versus the other. Like Cindy has her pigtails here, for instance. But I'm trying to think. I may be wrong. Wasn't it in the film she had pigtails but also were pink? And then in the show proper she had a different hairstyle but wore green? Is this like a weird mix of her designs here? Which they would have had to actually notice themselves as they made that portrait for her, because they took a picture of her with the old hairstyle but then added a green shirt. Huh. I could be wrong about some detail there, I don't know. Again, keep in mind whenever I'm playing these games, this is stuff I haven't seen in like 10 plus years, so... It's a weird situation for me. Anyways, we're in space now. We'll ponder that later. Bye everyone.